You have gone hungry before. You have also lost someone before. And without realizing it, your brain filed both of those events under the same warning. Deep in the oldest part of your mind, losing a person and losing a meal are almost the same emergency. When someone you love disappears, through distance, silence, or death, you don't just feel sad. You feel hollow, empty, starved. That word is not something your brain reached for to sound poetic. It's a literal alarm, installed by a world that ended thousands of years ago, still ringing inside a life that no longer looks anything like the one it was built for. It seems strange at first. Hunger is a physical need. You can measure it. A person you miss is not food. You can't eat your way out of grief. So why does heartbreak feel like something is being drained out of your body, not just your mood? Why does loneliness make your chest ache in a way that feels almost like pain? Why do people say a breakup left them starving for affection, and somehow everyone understands exactly what that means? Most of us assume emotions and survival are separate systems. One handles love and friendship. The other handles food, water, and danger. We treat the heart and the stomach as different countries, but your brain never agreed to that division. To understand why, you have to go back to a time when being alone wasn't a feeling. It was a death sentence. Imagine a small band of early humans, maybe 30 people, moving across a cold and uncertain landscape. There are no shops, no police, no safety net of any kind. Everything that keeps you alive comes from the group. The group shares food when your hunt fails. The group watches for predators while you sleep. The group carries you when you are sick and cannot walk. A single human, alone, in that world, was almost guaranteed to die. Not eventually. Soon. Exclusion from the tribe was not loneliness. It was starvation, exposure, and the dark all at once. So evolution faced a problem. It needed a way to make sure that no human ever drifted too far from the people keeping them alive. It needed an alarm loud enough to override comfort, pride, and stubbornness. And here is the strangest part. Instead of building a brand new system for social danger, evolution did something far more economical. It borrowed a system that already existed. It plugged the threat of losing people into the same circuitry that screamed when the body was starving or in pain. This is the detail almost no one notices. Pain is not just a sensation in your skin. It is a teaching tool. It exists to tell you, with absolute urgency, do something now, or you will not survive. Hunger works the same way. Both are designed to be unbearable on purpose, because a gentle reminder would be ignored. By routing social loss through these ancient channels, evolution made sure that losing your people would feel as intolerable as a wound that won't close, or a hunger that won't end. The bond became a survival need, enforced by the same machinery that protects the body. But that still does not explain everything. A clever story is not proof. For a long time, the idea that emotional pain and physical pain shared the same roots was just a poetic guess, until researchers decided to look directly inside the brain. In one now famous experiment, scientists placed people inside brain scanners and had them play a simple online ball-tossing game with 2 other players. What the participants didn't know was that the other players were not real. After a few friendly throws, the computer simply stopped including them. The ball went back and forth between the 2 strangers, and the real person was left out, ignored, invisible. A tiny, harmless rejection. And yet the scans lit up a region called the anterior cingulate cortex, the very same area that activates when the body feels physical pain. Being left out of a meaningless game registered in the brain, almost exactly like being hurt. The metaphor was never a metaphor. Social pain is real pain, processed by the same hardware. And here the past starts showing up inside modern life in a way that should unsettle you. If social loss runs on the pain system, then maybe a painkiller could dull it. So another team tested exactly that. They gave people a common over-the-counter pain reliever, the same kind you take for a headache, every day for 3 weeks, and tracked how often they felt socially hurt. The result was quiet and eerie. The people taking the painkiller reported feeling rejected and lonely less often than those taking a sugar pill. A pill for a sore body was, in a small but measurable way, soothing a sore heart. But the connection runs even deeper than pain. It reaches all the way to hunger itself. More recently, scientists isolated healthy people completely for an entire day, no contact, no company, nothing. Then they scanned their brains while showing them pictures of people laughing together and having fun. A small midbrain region flared to life with craving. Then, on a different day, they starved those same people for 10 hours and scanned them while showing pictures of food. The same region lit up, in the same way. A day without people produced a brain signature almost identical to a day without food. Your nervous system, it turns out, can be hungry for company in the most literal sense the word allows. This is where the ancient design quietly becomes a modern wound. The instinct made perfect sense when losing your group really did mean losing your life. But the world changed in a few thousand years, and your brain did not keep up. Today you can survive completely alone. You can order food to your door, work without speaking to anyone, and go weeks without a real conversation. Nothing physical will harm you. And yet the old alarm doesn't know that. It still fires as if every goodbye, every unanswered message, every empty apartment were a threat to your survival. The grief after losing someone, the desperate ache of loneliness, the way a breakup can make food taste like nothing for weeks. These are not signs that something is broken in you. They are signs that something is working exactly as it was designed to, just in a world it was never designed for. That mismatch has a cost. Because the system is so powerful, it can be exploited. The same circuitry that once bound tribes together is what makes us check our phones compulsively for a sign that we still belong. It's what makes rejection feel like a physical blow, what keeps people in relationships that hurt them rather than face the starvation of being alone, what turns a friend's silence into a spiral of anxiety that lasts for days. We are running ancient survival software on the loneliest hardware our species has ever lived inside, surrounded by people and somehow still hungry for them. And maybe that reframes everything you thought you knew about your own heartbreaks. The pain you felt when someone left was not weakness. It was not you being dramatic, or needy, or too much. It was the sound of a 400,000-year-old instinct doing the one job it was built to do, keeping you close to the people who keep you alive. Your ancestors who felt that pain stayed near their tribes and survived to become you. The ones who didn't feel it simply vanished. So the next time loss leaves you feeling hollowed out, starving for someone who is gone, remember what that emptiness really is. It is not damage. It is inheritance, a hunger far older than you, whispering the same thing it has whispered for thousands of generations across every fire and every grave. Stay close. Stay together. Because to a brain shaped by the wild, a person was never just a person. A person was food, warmth, and the difference between mourning and never waking up at all.